This is the Scary Movie Clubcast.
Live from the clubhouse, it's the Scary Movie Clubcast. This is Amanda.
This is Nadine.
And this is Kate.
All right, we just watched the very last and final episode of The Haunting of Hill House, episode 10, Silence Lay Steady.
Yeah,
oh man.
So good.
This episode's done so well. Like, it's insane. I mean, this episode's done perfectly.
Brings out a lot of the feels too. But anyway, should we get to our fun facts, Nadine?
As you guys may have guessed, there aren't that many left. We already know a lot of fun stuff about the show. Just a random fun fact from before is, do you guys remember that Hugh is talking about basically being a Boy Scout, but he can't say Boy Scout because they're like really particular
That was the
about
two
that.
storms.
And what I think is funny is that he referred to it as a Life Scout, which is actually the penultimate thing to be in Boy Scouts, right below Eagle Scout. So when Shirley Jackson was doing research for the ghost story that she wanted to write, she found a picture of a house that she felt like looked haunted enough in a magazine, and it was in California. Her mom was in California, so she was like, "Mom, will you look into this house for me? I want to know more about the property." It turned out that her great-great-grandfather was the architect that had built it.
What? She just picked it out of like a magazine?
Mm-hmm.
And she's just looking through pictures and she's like, this looks
Pictures.
old and decrepit and creepy.
Wow, that's cool.
Right? Isn't that crazy? Like, she drafted up blueprints of the house in her book, which I think is really cool.
This is all making me
And
want to
the-
read the book.
Of the inside and the outside.
Wow.
So you could literally build the house from her book.
I'm gonna build it in The Sims.
But what? You need another 1,000,000-hour project?
I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's relaxing.
That's awesome.
Okay, since the other fun facts I have are about the ending, I just want to get Kate's perspective on the ending real quick before I say them.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm still processing.
Fair.
So like,
It's a lot
But
to take in.
But yeah, it was really cool. It's amazing that you always think that that little girl is a ghost, but turns out she's not.
Yeah,
she was real.
Yeah.
I
She's a
know.
real girl and she killed her.
I know. It's so
crazy.
depressing.
Yeah.
Probably the most depressing thing that happens the whole time. Honestly.
Yeah.
Just because it's like their only child. And
I
just...
know. Hence why they continue to be on staff there and have such a commitment to it. Although they were like weirdly committed to it before that too. But like,
Yeah.
but yeah, they like
Sweet little
recognized
Abigail.
the powers of it. So that was cool. I
know, you
definitely thought Luke was gonna die.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole time you're like, as soon as I saw foam coming out of his mouth, I was like, no, he's dead. This is it. I'm depressed.
Yeah.
So what did you think about finding out that the red room was all those other rooms?
Yeah, that's cool. It actually, like, there was one point, I think it was when she was in her little dance studio, I was like, where is this in the house?
Yeah.
And I also was like, the treehouse does not look like a treehouse. So that's really cool that it, became like a room of requirements, you know?
Yeah.
Just like a morphing room that just was whatever they wanted it to be, I guess.
Yeah, it's tricky too, because some of those rooms we never saw. Like, we never saw Stevie's game room until right then, and
Well,
No, we
there
saw
was a
he
shot.
He played in the game room.
Was?
That's where he
I
found
don't
the
remember that.
nightstand for the little
Yeah.
vanity for his mom.
oh,
When-
I don't
When
remember
Shirley
any-
puts the pictures in, that's when she's putting the pictures in the album of the kittens. That's when she's in
Oh,
there.
and the-
And I feel like especially with Shirley's, it's a lot more subtle because it just looks like a regular room in the house.
yeah, yeah,
Whereas
really.
like the dance room, you're like, that doesn't. What?
Yeah, I was
yeah,
like,
and I had
that's
commented on the playroom
odd.
when we
Yeah.
were watching it. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't you remember? I was like, that's insane for them to have a whole playroom set up. You barely moved into the
Oh,
house.
yeah, that's right. You were
'Cause I
like,
had
they just
forgotten.
moved in. Oh, yeah. That's right. I do
I know. When you
remember
said that, I was like,
I forgot.
does she not? What is she?
You watched it 4 times, Amanda. Get out of here. I don't want you to remember every little thing.
I
It's
thought you
okay
were-
because I did not catch on,
I
so.
know, I thought you might be trying to throw a red herring Kate's
Oh.
way to be like,
So what did you predict first time you saw it?
Oh, the first time I saw it, from the moment that I saw that rat poison, I knew that Luke was going to inject it into himself. I said it out loud to
really?
Brittany, and I was so happy at the end when it happened. I was like, ah!
Oh, wow.
So the first time that I watched it, I thought to myself that, like, everything about them leaving the red room was, like, false. That's what I thought. I was like, that doesn't seem real, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And people especially point to the fact that Luke's cake is red as, like, a thing for it. Then I read something where Mike Flanagan was talking about it. He says, for a while, that was the plan. Maybe they never really got out of that room. The night before it came time to shoot it, I sat up in bed and I felt guilty about it. I felt like it was cruel. That surprised me. I'd come to love the characters so much that I wanted them to be happy. I came into work and said, I don't want to put the window up. I think it's mean and unfair, because that's, like, how they were going to do it, is, like, just have that window in the background.
Because it would have fit perfectly right there behind Luke.
Once that gear had kicked in, I wanted to lean in as far in that direction as possible. We've been on this journey for 10 hours. A few minutes of hope was important to me. I thought that was cute. Although it did make me, like, feel better that, because when I thought that, I remember that the person that watched it with me was like, oh, you're the worst. Like, why would you even think that? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, there are signs. Like, that's how it was written for you to think that. And so they just took one little element away.
Yeah.
The main thing that would say definitely.
Yeah. So I was like, ha.
Because I remember after it, like, came out reading all these articles about it, because Oliver Jackson Cohen was, like, interviewed or something. It's like, maybe they didn't make it out. And I was like, I don't like that.
Well, yeah, and he said that because Kate Siegel, the one who's, like, Mike Flanagan's wife, who plays Theo, pointed out to him that she was like, I mean, your cake is red.
I know, it's a weird color for a cake, too.
Yeah, it is.
Who gets red cakes?
And then also just, we haven't talked about it yet, or touched on it all, of the Red Room being kind of like an allusion to Jane Eyre and the Red Room that's in there.
Oh, yeah.
Which is where she gets, like, locked up as a kid.
And she's, like, insane. Oh, wait, I was thinking of the wife. Never mind. Oh, keep
I
going.
mean, it's similar to that, too. Because it's in the
like,
it's in the
wife
top
was,
story
like,
of the house, and it's,
insane.
like, locked up all the time. And
Yeah.
It's insane in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets locked up in there with monsters and demons and
Oh, that's right.
feels pushed out. And so I think that probably Nell is, like, the allusion to that a little bit. And then I did grab us just a couple of little fun facts on season 2. Because, why not? Something interesting is that a lot of people are coming back,
Yeah.
cast-wise.
Oh,
I read
really?
Which I find interesting.
I mean,
As
that's what they...
different characters, or as, like, a, hey...
Different characters. That's what they do with a lot of
Oh.
anthology series, actually, nowadays. That's what an American Horror Story is like, and American Crime Stories. They just use the same actors, and they just put them in different roles.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Because to me, the weirdest part is that now that you've convinced me that all these people are siblings, can't show them to me romantically. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, no, get off your brother.
And I think it's kind of cool. I think it'd be really cool for an actor to take on all these different roles.
Yeah.
And, like, you get to, like, invest in the character a lot, but then also, like, after a season, you don't get tired of it. You get to switch into something new.
And then the last thing that I have is just a quote from Mike Flanagan that he told to someone about season 2. He said, "It's scarier. It's a lot more frightening, just on a visceral level."
Yay. I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah.
excited. I'm so excited.
That's our
I'm
last
so
fun
excited.
fact.
I wonder if he's going to make me cry again, though, because I definitely cried in this episode. When Nell was talking to them, and she was like, it's okay, guys. Like, I forgive you. And, like, it wouldn't have mattered. Like, this is what was meant to happen. I was like, because Luke was like, I don't know how to live without you. And I was like, oh, because you really don't.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry I should have mentioned this, but the poem or lullaby that Poppy says/sings to Hugh at the end when she's, like, all creepy and gross, and right before Olivia comes up and is like, get away from my man. That lullaby is actually a real lullaby about a real murder that took place in Australia.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
What a nice lullaby.
Right?
So the he that's doing all the murdering, is that the William Hill who, like, bricked himself in the basement?
No.
Maybe some of this just went over my head. Maybe I need to watch it again.
No. So William Hill is from the poem that Theo's girlfriend says to her in her, like, weird nightmare thing. He
Okay, yeah.
What was,
Guilt
and fear.
fear.
The two sisters were driving him crazy. He bricks himself in. He realizes they're still in there with him. He can't get out.
Oh, that's
And
right.
then
I
he
remember
dreams-
this.
And he's
I might
like,
have zoned out a little bit, but this is ringing a bell.
and then he's like, then he feels small, super small. And then when he wakes up, he's tall. He's the bowler hat guy.
Okay,
That's why
yeah,
he's so
yeah, yeah.
tall.
Got it.
I also thought it was interesting, the parallels to, like, we talk about like hunger, like Olivia's like the world is hungry and trying to eat them. Nell is also talking about how the house is hungry and how the red room's like the stomach. And then I think it also reflects to Shirley, who talked about in her nightmare that it was like there was just this hunger, like of, you know, there's just babies and diapers and that's all her life had been. She like escaped in this weird affair she had. Also, I feel like Luke's addiction plays into that because I feel like addiction is a lot like this hunger. He's always like after this high that will never like be as good as the first one was.
I also thought it was sad and also like interesting the parallels that Olivia wanted to keep her kids safe, and also like the Dudleys like wanted to keep their daughter safe by never letting her go outside. It's like all these things that these parents are trying to do to keep their kids safe, and it's like you can't, which is really depressing. They repressed her so much that she snuck away and then she ended up getting murdered.
I know.
I feel like Olivia tried to like keep them tight, you know, keep them close, and instead kind of drove them crazy. Nell ended up dying, but then also like Luke with all his repercussions.
That's what Hugh ended up like basically talking to her about, was being like, no, this is the agreement we made as parents.
Yeah.
I know. I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And the part where he talks about like how he's like reflecting on like the choices he's made, he's like, you know, was holding this door closed to try and keep the monsters away, and I didn't have arms to hold my kids. I was like, oh, that gets me.
Yeah, so how long did they end up being there? Do we have kind of like a...
Yeah, they planned to stay there for 8 weeks. Well, right when it all goes down is they were like wrapping up. I feel like they were probably like close to finishing because that's when he hired all the people to work. He probably had like maybe a week more or so.
About a month and a half.
Apparently there's also, I looked for it, but maybe I missed it. But there's supposedly a part where I think it's like Lee's like sitting down reading a book and she's reading Dr. Sleep.
Oh.
Yeah, because
is that when he's working on his novel and she's sitting there?
I think so, because it's supposed to be in this episode, and she's supposedly reading Dr. Sleep, and apparently it's because Flanagan found out that he was going to be directing that movie. All right, so we'll give the series our final rating, and we're going to change it up a little bit. It's going to be out of 7, and so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 7 buttons because it's everything I want in a television show. It's moving, it's visually stunning, it's well acted. I just feel like everything in it is just so perfect. I can't wait for season 2. I'm just so excited.
I would probably give it a 6 out of 7 buttons. I like it a lot and I think it's really well done, but there are a few things that I personally would change.
Kate?
Oh, I rate it?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, your opinion.
Oh, yeah, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 7 too, because I really, really liked it, but I guess I have really high standards. Well, and I'm also like, oh, no, not that you don't have high standards. Wait, can I start over?
Scorpio.
I know.
No, that's not what I meant to say. I really, really liked it. I mean, I feel like a 6 is a good number. I didn't know I was going to be doing this. I wasn't ready for what I was going to say. Yeah, no, I really liked it. And I think there had been like a ton of hype, and I feel like it lives up to a lot of the hype, but I think I expected it to be even more like twistier than it was, which is crazy like saying that because it was really like twisty, but
I can understand that.
Yeah, well, and I kept waiting for like more time travel to be involved like in the final episode. Like for just, I was kind of thinking that like our whole timeline would be completely different than what I was expecting. It wasn't, and that's fine, and I still like really enjoyed it. I thought it was super entertaining, and I kind of want to watch it again to pick up on the things that I missed the first time, just because the first time you're watching it, you're like focusing on the main story,
plot,
the main stuff, and you miss out on a lot of the like more subtle things.
I'm surprised, Kate, too, that you didn't have like spoilers going in, like because it had so
from
much
other
hype.
people.
Yeah, I'm surprised that there weren't like things that you had heard.
Usually when people would kind of start talking about it, I would immediately leave the room or just like tell them to stop, because I had all intentions to watch the show.
Very committed.
I did not once. I hate spoilers more than like anything else in the world.
That's the end, guys.
Oh man, I can't believe it.
Kate, do you want to join us for season 2?
Yes, can I?
Obvi.
Yes. So yeah, everyone, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Screen Movie Clubcast and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you again soon. Bye. Live from the Scary Movie Club. Live from the Scary Movie Clubhouse. It's a Scary Movie Clubcast. Nope.
Okay.
Why? No. Why you gotta be like this? He's gonna do that until he gets let out.
Oh, make it so hard for us to love you sometimes.
Go, Peppy. Don't play like that's not what you wanted, Peppy. Be happy, Nadine. Picture I was about to squirt you.
It would have been funny if you had gone the script right as I bent down to pick.
I think whenever you
I'm
edit,
like, man, what the crap?
when you edit all this audio footage for these 10 episodes, you should compile just like an episode of you talking to the cats.
The troublemakers.
Yeah, the cats definitely get shout outs and
Yeah.
bloopers all the time.
Yeah.
Friday, guys.
Friday, guys.
Mm-hmm. The runny eggs.
Oh, fried egg eyes. I thought you were saying Friday guys.
Me too. I was like, is that like a innuendo for the guy that Shirley goes out
I know. I was
with?
like, I don't. They weren't out of Fridays.
Are we all gonna watch it for the first time together, or are you guys gonna watch it 10 times and then we'll watch it?
I mean, it depends on how long it takes us to watch it. Because if it's more than like 2 days, I'm gonna binge it all.
That's
I know,
fair.
'cause-
Can
well,
only
it'll
ask you
depend,
to
though.
wait for so long.
Don't shake your head how awkward I
can't
am.
believe you said before bye. You didn't know you were gonna say bye?
No, I didn't.